Hello there. Welcome to my presentation of atheistastroagnosis. Well, what is that? That's a fancy way of saying that highly educated scientists, in this case men, look at this evidence of creation or design in creation and say, nope, I don't want to believe it. I don't want to look at it. I am denying that it exists, even though I'm looking at it with my eyes. Oh my, that's atheistastroagnosis. And as a psychologist, I recognize that as, a mental pretzel, as so to speak, conflicting entities or beliefs. What you see is not what you believe. So, again, atheistastroagnosis. Now, we're going to look at the background of some of these men. Of course, all of them are highly educated, so we're going to look at their educational backgrounds first, and then we'll dive in to see how they have been victimized by atheistastroagnosis. There are a few exceptions, but let's start with Robert Jastrow first, okay? He was born in 1925, and of course, he deceased in 2008. The renowned Robert Jastrow is the poster child for atheistastroagnosis, as we'll see, or ATG for short, as shown in this presentation. What is his educational background? Well, Dr. Jastrow received his AB, MA, and PhD degrees in theoretical physics from Columbia University. Pretty sharp guy. He joined NASA when it was formed in 1958 and was a prominent figure in the American space program from its inception. Okay, so we're talking about, once again, a very highly educated man. Now, Dr. Jastrow was the first chairman of NASA's Lunar Exploration Committee, which established the scientific goals for the exploration of the moon during the Apollo lunar landings. In 1961, Dr. Jastrow set up NASA's Goddard Institute for Space Studies, a U.S. government laboratory charged with carrying out research in astronomy and planetary science. He served as director of the Goddard Institute until his retirement from NASA in 1981. Now, here comes the fun part. Although he characterized himself as an agnostic, someone who's not sure whether God exists or not, Jastrow was really an atheist, one who doesn't believe in God at all. His science pointed to a creator, but he couldn't accept this fact. Here's what he said. Just as I can't believe there was a creator, I can't believe that this all happened by chance, which implies there was a creator. So you see, I am in a completely hopeless bind, and I've stayed there. This is what he said. Now, there's a video online where he says that, but we can't show the video here, but we do have the audio of the video. So that's what we're going to see in the next slide, or rather hear in the next slide. Okay, here it is, in his own words, where he says, I am in a completely hopeless bind. Incidentally, the name of the video is Robert Jastrow's Struggle of God and Agnosticism. Okay, let's take a listen.
Just as I can't believe that there was a creator, I can't believe that this all happened by chance, which implies there was a creator. So you see, I'm in a completely hopeless bind, and I've stayed there. Again, I find it hard to believe that this is all a matter of atoms and molecules. And so I try to fit into my concept of the world the conclusion that there is a larger force of some kind, which we can call God, or you can call it whatever. But I can't accept that. I'm what's called a materialist in philosophy. I believe in it. That doesn't mean I like Cadillacs and big cars. My students always used to think that. It means that I believe the world consists entirely of material substances. And when you specify those substances, the atoms and molecules, and the laws by which they interact, you've done it all. There isn't anything more to be said or inserted into your model of the universe. And that's what my science tells me. I've been a scientist all my life, but I find it unsatisfactory. In fact, it makes me uneasy. I feel I'm missing something, but it will not. I will not find out what I'm missing within my lifetime. If you reverse the motion, the outward motions of the galaxies, and go backward in time, they come closer and closer together, and you reach a point finally where they're nearly infinite in density and temperature, and farther than that you can't go. So there's a beginning. There's a point in time from which it all started, and that's a remarkable thing because it has a very strong theological flavor to it, and that intrigued me because I am an agnostic, and if there was a beginning, a moment of creation in the universe, then there was a creator, and the creator is not compatible with agnosticism. And I found that message so interesting that I felt a strong compulsion to share it with others, and so that's why I wrote that book.
Wow. Well, you heard it from the man himself. It's kind of mind-boggling. All right, but in case you missed it, let's unpack it by looking at some of the things he said. First bullet point. Here's what he said. If you reverse the motion of the Big Bang and you go backwards in time, they, that is the galaxies, come closer and closer together, and you reach a point finally where there's nearly infinite in density and temperature. And further than that, you can't go. It's so tight, it's small, right? You can't go further than that. That singularity. Second bullet point. So, there's a beginning. There's a point in time from which it all started. And that's a remarkable thing because it has very strong, please note, theological flavor to it. And that intrigued me because I am an agnostic. And if there was a beginning, notice how he deduced this point. A moment of creation of the universe, then there was a creator. And a creator is not compatible with agnosticism. Oh my. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I stated at the beginning, right? Highly educated person here who says, I can't believe what I'm seeing, or what the evidence tells me, or what my own science tells me. I can't believe that. And I've been a scientist all my life. That's pretty deep. Jastrow's mental anguish is a classic and pronounced case of atheistastroagnosis, or ATG, which is why he is listed first among the 10 astronomers, astrophysicists, theoretical physicists, and others considered in this thread. Recall our definition of ATG. Here it is. A persistent disturbance in the psyche of the atheistic astrophysicist, or scientist of any genre, when they encounter clashing conclusions and troubling contradictions in connection with evidence of purposeful design in the universe. If he were here today, he would do well to seek help from an, well, here it is. I mentioned this at the beginning, before the actual recordings began. Help of an astrophysical psychologist, which I am, who could treat his atheistastroagnosis. Here to help. It's that simple. Next up, Neil deGrasse Tyson.